You know what's like funny to me too?
What's funny?
We're about to talk about all this stuff. Meanwhile, I had Taco Bell, probably the most unhealthy fast food place.
Actually, before we jump into the food, rank your top 3 fast food spots.
Oh.
And I'm not talking like casual. I'm talking fast food like drive-through.
Okay, good. That was my first question. I was gonna be like,
casual is like Chipotle, Moe's, Five Guys, Chick-fil-A. Like that's casual.
Okay. So it has a drive-through.
Yeah, because that's the only way. That's why I consider fast food. I don't consider Chipotle, Moe's, those fast food as much. I'll give you mine.
Yeah, give me yours because I got 2, but I need to think of one more.
Wendy's.
Okay.
Taco Bell. And third is between like third's up in the air because I would say McDonald's, but McDonald's fallen off like the last few years, big time in my opinion.
Damn.
So it's between like McDonald's and I want to throw in Chick-fil-A though. Because Chick-fil-A does have
a drive-through.
So I'll throw in Chick-fil-A third.
Okay. My 3 are I'm basic. I
Okay.
McDonald's. Popeyes. And In-N-Out.
I forgot about. Okay, I'm boosting Popeyes to second, and I'm putting Taco Bell third.
And then In-N-Out is my last one.
No Wendy's?
No Wendy's.
Why?
I grew up on Wendy's, so Wendy's doesn't have that much of a hierarchy to me. Don't get me wrong.
You know how
top
rare,
5.
but you know
It's
how
top 5.
rare Wendy's are, and we have one right in our town. You know how rare they are around.
Yeah, bro, it's right up the street from me.
But in terms of like locations all over the place, they're rare. They don't come around very often.
True, but like
some people gotta drive a little bit to get to a Wendy's.
You got to realize, like, majority of when we were younger. I mean, now we have all 3 of the big 3 fast food chains all within a mile of each other. But my God, I have hiccups.
You're good.
But all of when we were younger, it was like, oh, you want to get something through a drive-thru, you got to go to Wendy's because the Burger King was dine-in only.
I hate
there
Burger
was
King.
no McDonald's forever.
Yeah.
And then Wendy's was the only thing that was there. So if you want something quick and easy, you had to go to Wendy's. So for me, I was like, I've had Wendy's so much in my life. I'm like, it's not really like up there for me anymore.
The only reason I like Wendy's a lot.
Top 5 though. Top 5.
Wendy's is my one only because they are one of the few places that changes their menu consistently and try new things. No other place does that. So that's why they're one.
Yeah, they'll be like, new item on the menu, spicy nuggets. I'm like, you're just taking the sauce and then just...
Oh, the ones that they douse the shit in?
Yeah, I had them.
I haven't tried. I haven't
They were trash.
I don't get that shit.
I got the garlic parmesan and the buffalo. Trash.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I shouldn't have to eat my nuggets with a fork. But anyway.
I feel that.
So, bro, I want to preface this all by saying I'm not a nutritionalist. I'm not anything like that. I'm just a person that gets very interested in something and goes way down the rabbit hole. About 2 or 3 days ago, you know how everyone always has these like extravagant coffee orders? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like when you go to Starbucks, you get like the dumbest stuff. Yeah. I like coffee black or willow cream.
I'm the exact same.
Or ice, like an Americano ice. Facts. Like that's just like what I like.
I'm a cold brew kind of guy.
Yeah, I like cold brews.
But I can't drink cold brews now, considering I'm going to freeze my nipples off. But anyway, I follow a guy on Instagram who literally just makes like coffees, but he makes like the most extra coffees where they're like literally like, if this is the cup, it's filled up to here with like sugars, creams, and everything.
That ain't
and I'm
a
like,
coffee.
I'm like, that's not good for you.
Yeah, that's not.
And I'm sitting there and I think to myself, I'm like, do people ever like think about like how much truly goes into your coffee? Most people get like the coffees and they get like this much coffee in it, and I'm like, that's not good. The rush you're feeling is sugar.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when you said that.
So it made me go down a giant rabbit hole, and man, oh my God, bro. I will never like. There's certain things, bro. There are foods that are like banned. There are foods that are banned in other countries that are fine here. Like, bro, you know Skittles is banned in like not majority, but like certain parts of like Europe. Majority of it's because there's so many colorings, bro.
Yeah.
Red 40, yellow 5, all these things, and I'm just like, what do these do for you exactly? And I'm just like, oh, I'm never eating Skittles ever again. They're so bad for me.
I haven't had Skittles in a year or two.
Yeah, and it makes me think to myself, I'm like, I remember one time I went to Walmart to get like like just regular like produce, and I
Yeah.
got hash browns. I figured I'd make myself a little like hash brown sandwich with maybe
Love
a little
that.
egg, a little breakfast.
One of
And-
my favorite things.
And bro, I remember eating the sandwich, and I immediately got a headache, and I got my stomach hurt, and I was like, okay, maybe like the bread's not that good, blah blah blah. Didn't think about it. Then as I'm throwing it out, I'm like, let me look at what's in this stuff.
Yeah.
Brother, this was how big the paragraph was of that tiny font of everything that was in it. I was like, why do you need all these things in hash browns?
Yep. I'm with you on that.
And
People
I'm-
don't look at the nutritional facts and the ingredients and things very often. I think that's been more of a mainstream thing as of late because of social media and all the people promoting good health. I personally do look at, like, if I ever get something, first of all, I don't often get a lot of frozen stuff, but I know frozen things usually have a ton of ingredients. That being said, there are healthy options too for frozen things. The one thing I did notice too, that's a little off topic, but the microplastics that come in things too are kind of crazy. So if you get frozen berries or like frozen microwavable stuff, the it's crazy how much like microplastics are in that stuff. And I'm not like super
That's next
like
on my
I'm
list,
not gonna eat it because of it's a microwavable. Like I'm not like that. It's just like something in the back of your mind when you're thinking about eating this stuff. I'll still eat it. It's just like
I just think to myself, I'm like, no wonder why Americans are fat as fuck. Like, the food we
Yeah.
have is terrible. Let me just look at the camera while I say this. For the love of God, if you buy raspberries, blueberries, anything, wash them.
yeah.
Oh my God, there was like one of the people that I looked at wrote an article about how he had like some type of stomach condition where like I don't really want to. It's kind of fuzzy. I don't remember what it was, but essentially his stomach wasn't like pumping food into his intestines. And
That's crazy.
that's probably wrong, actually. I don't think about it. But anyway, basically,
what was his
the
problem?
pesticides
Yeah.
that he was there, he consumed enough of the, whether it was strawberries, berries, whatever type of produce he had, he consumed enough of it that it affected his health because of the pesticides not being washed off the food.
Oh shit.
And he was like, I had to change my diet. I had to go through a bunch of things where I don't know if like many people know this or anything, but for them to test the acidity in your stomach, you literally have to like, my cousin also got this done. You have to swallow like a little piece of something that is like, I'm not going to say radioactive, but it has a little bit of radiation or something like that where they can track its breakdown in your body.
Sure.
And then you have to
Yeah.
put it in a box,
Got
if you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying,
know what you
and
mean.
mail
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I had to do that earlier this year. It was fucking hilarious. But I'm like, there's some of the stuff I'm just like, oh my God, how is this even allowed? I'm like, no wonder why all these Americans have like such issues with whether it comes to like energy levels or just straight up health or just blubber and shit like that. I'm like, it's what you're eating.
Yeah.
Like, for the love of God, if you want to lose weight, it's very simple. Eat less, move more.
Well, I'll tell you this too. So since I've worked at a grocery store before, I kind of have an insight on how the products get into the store and specifically produce. So I would say that like if you really are into like wanting to be healthy and stuff, I would get organic things. That being said, I've come around a lot of instances where the stuff that grocery stores come in already bad. So that's like a weird thing I've seen. And also a thing that I've never understood is why organic things are so expensive. You'd imagine that things that require less pesticides, less things to take care of. Well, actually, let me backtrack. You got in order to grow things organically, you need to treat them better because you got to worry about bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the pesticides keep them away. But it's like, man, if everything was just organic in the first place, nothing would be expensive. You know, it would be a natural way of just having to grow stuff. You know, if everything was organic, if that was the standard, you know, so things wouldn't be inflated in price. I hate that organic is just a brand now. You know, I hate that. I wish things were all organic. And it's never going to be like that since we mass produce things on an insane level. You know, I hate that.
And it's just, oh my God, some of this stuff, bro. There was one thing I looked at where, I don't remember what it was, but I think it was a filling for like a type of candy. And the person said in the video, they're like, listen, you got to eat an insane amount of these for this to happen to you.
Yeah.
But whatever candy it was, or like a type of dish or Danish or something like that, it like could cause, like tumors to expand and change one of your cells, and that's literally cancer.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
It's bad, dude.
Like, bro, I was like, dude, I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm so far down the rabbit hole. I'm just like, I don't even want to eat anything that's not organic anymore.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I just had Taco Bell, and that's like the worst thing for you.
Fast food's okay. Like for me, I'll eat fast food like once a week. But everything's good in
moderation.
Yeah, that's how I look at things. Everything's good in moderation.
If you have a fast food once a week, that's fine.
Yeah,
but it's when you start getting into the 2, 3, 4 times a week, that's where it kind of adds up.
Yeah, I mean, so have you been hearing about like RFK trying to get Coca-Cola to use cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup?
I looked up so much stuff, like foods that are like salt and sugar run the entire FDA, bro. Like I looked at some of it and I was like, there's not sugar, but there's salt in bread.
Yeah, and like specifically white bread, and why
the fuck do we need that in bread? It's bread.
Well, sugar's just in everything,
No, sugar makes sense because sugar can make things like a little bit sweeter. It's also
salt. I mean, salt is in everything too. But yeah, it's a lot. I mean, a lot of people don't have. Like I said, it's expensive to make your own food. It is. It's so expensive. If you want to make things your own way every day, if you want to make your own, you name it. It's going to cost a lot of money.
Bro, so, I went to Vermont for my cousin to his graduation from college party, and we had to buy eggs. We ended up going to like some farmer, and they gave us eggs. The first thing that came to my mind was, number one, the eggs were a little bit more like rougher, like the actual shells were a little bit rougher.
Yeah.
And the guy said to us, they were like, hey, you don't have to put these in the fridge. We're like, why do we have to put them in the fridge? And then they're like, oh, it's because they're not supposed to go in the fridge. I'm like, then how come the white ones have to go in the fridge?
Yeah. I think it's similar with milk too, because whole milk is way better for you if it comes in a natural form. But people think that low-fat milk is better for you. It's not. Because when you take out... No, I was going to say, when you take out the stuff in whole milk, you're taking out the vitamins and minerals. My uncle told me that. He said, like, when he went to a farm in upper New York State, they have whole milk, and it's super fresh, and you don't have to refrigerate it, like, as often, or as... You got to refrigerate everything, but it's like, you could literally leave it out for a day, and it's fine, because it's so natural. And... that's something too people don't really know, is that whole milk's better for you.
The thing that gets me
what
is when people are like, oh, I'm cutting back, I'm gonna drink a diet soda. I'm like,
diet's one thing, but the sugar-free is probably not that bad for you.
But either way,
diet's probably is, but sugar-free is.
If you're trying to lose weight, don't get me wrong, going from Coke to Diet Coke is not a bad thing, but if you want to lose weight, you shouldn't be drinking soda.
What's the thing that everyone's addicted to? It's soda, though.
Yeah.
It's the frizziness. It's not the
carbonation.
It's carbonation. So just drink seltzer.
You ever notice how whenever you drink a lot of soda, your piss comes out like straight just a yellow? That's not good.
I don't drink soda very often. If I do, I'm getting no sugar. I've done that recently. Like, I think I was at McDonald's maybe like a month ago, and I got like McDonald's has the best sodas. Because they all most of them come in metal canisters. They're, serum and stuff, or syrup. But
it feels like a serum when you're drinking it.
Yeah, for real. But it's really good still when you get no sugar too. It tastes just as good if you do want soda.
But bro, oh my god, man, I can't with some of the stuff I was reading, like the dyes, the preservatives, the pesticides. I was like, no wonder why people are dying from whatever else causes, and we're fat as fuck. Yeah. No wonder why. It's because if you want to eat healthy, like you said, you have to pay an arm and a leg, and then on top of that, it's like really, bro.
I watched this video I forget what his name is or what his YouTube channel is called, but he's all about meat and stuff, like steaks and things like that.
Carnivore diet guy?
No. He's like a chef, I guess, and he has like recipes, but he explained how you can buy meat in bulk at like a Costco and just save so much money because you could butcher it and stuff, and you'll have so much meat compared to if you were just to buy, like 2 pounds of, ribeye or whatever. Because if you buy a whole, cow shoulder, you could get 10 different cuts, and you'll be eating that for like a month.
Exactly.
And you'll be saving so much money. It might cost you like $200, but I mean, that's $200 a month for meals.
You're getting 20
every day.
meals out of that. That's $10 a meal.
Exactly. So it's great.
My favorite was at one point I was talking to a buddy of mine about this, and he said something that was like, "Yeah, we should just go to like rice, grains, and meat." And I went, "Oh my God. Do you know what countries people live the longest?"
Mediterranean, or because of their diet?
I think they're up there, but Japanese.
Oh yeah,
because the only thing they eat is fish, rice, and fish is a protein, but fish,
it's
rice, and like naturally occurring things.
Yeah,
grains, rice, the meats, eggs, all of that. I'm like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If your diet consists of things that are naturally occurring instead of this like thick processed shit, then I don't get it, man.
I'm with you.
I don't get it.
I mean, I think it's something you just realize as you get older too.
I also think the dopamine hit from half of the stuff that you eat that tastes good is incredible.
Oh, like how we started the pod. Fast food just hits different sometimes. It really does.
It'll be getting you like bobbing your head and there's no music on.
I watched this other dude on YouTube. Man, I can't remember names, but he's from South Korea, and he does foods reviews all the time.
Okay, go on. I have.
So he came to the U.S. after like a long period. He grew up in the U.S. and then he moved to South Korea, and then he visits the United States maybe like once a year or whatever. So he was comparing McDonald's and things like that to South Korea, and he was just like, "Man, you could taste the chemicals. You could you get full quicker, And I was like, you know what? Like, that's a lot of people got to see that and notice people that come from other countries and try the fast food here, and what their opinion is, because it's pretty eye opening, And I thought it was eye opening when I watched it.
So when I went to Iceland in 2019, we got I don't remember what exactly it was, but basically one of the big like snacks in Iceland was popcorn. And it was the same brand popcorn that we have here, but I was like, okay, let's grab this. It's a giant like a pillowcase full of popcorn for like $5.
Wow!
So we got it, and it was crack. I literally called it crack because it was so good. It was kettle corn, and then I remember trying it here, and I was like, the bag is different. It tastes a little different, and I was like, I remember sitting there like, wow. European, I guess it's just where it was from, and that now watching that video or going down the rabbit hole like I did, I was like, maybe there was other things in that popcorn that the FDA approved in the U.S. but didn't approve in Iceland. So,
well, another thing you gotta know is that the FDA is run by these companies. They're the ones that really get to decide.
Independent party.
That's what people think, but I mean, the FDA is they get their money. Well, they are run by the companies that sell that stuff. That's how it works, because this whole our whole country is based around money. So the more money you make, the less you care about health and things like that. But food, that should be an exception. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, food is something everyone eats, everyone needs. So there should be some sort of inclination of making it better for people, which I think will happen in the future. Because, like I said, social media people are starting to open their eyes to things like this.
I mean, we got RFK appointed as the head for the.
Will he get it done? We'll see. He has a lot of.
I love the side by side pictures they have where it was like the old health general or advisor or head person, and there's just like sort of like a little like, round woman, and the next thing you know, it's like RFK, and he's like like 6 billion years old, and he's like just ripped out of his mind, just got off the bench, and I'm just like, how come you don't see people like that at 60 years old being able to put up 2 plates? Because they can't, because their body is frail. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I'm very, like, after all that, I'm just like, I don't even know. I'm going to start just eating better, getting cleaner.
You should.
Crazy, man.
I try to. I mean, I just eat what my parents make, but they try to keep it healthy, homemade stuff.
And it's like, just cut out the soda. My cousin always tells me, he's like, I could probably count the amount of times you've ordered or drank soda in my presence on my one hand. And I'm like, that makes sense. I very rarely do drink
I don't drink soda either. I really don't. I only drink it if I'm eating some fast food,
Exactly.
And even then, I don't honestly get soda very often. So it's just, I know it's a treat.
Although Coke Vanilla had me by the balls for a while there. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
My favorite was I had a coworker who she told me I walked in drinking Coke Vanilla, and she just looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, you're drinking the lesbian drink of choice." And I'm like, well, shit. That's 2 things that we got in common.
Oh my God.
And then she just goes, she's a lesbian, just for nobody gets all mad and shit, because everyone's a fucking pussy nowadays. But oh my God, that was so funny. She's like, do you have any more? I'm like, of course, I got a fucking case in my trunk. She's like, you drive around with Coke Vanilla in your trunk? I'm like, no, I just picked it up and had to come to work. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. Well, that's good though. That's good. It's a good thing to keep an eye on.
Oh, bro. I'm going to switch topics completely because I don't really know where else to go with this. I think we did
no problem. Yeah.
Apple Music did their wrap up. I've absolutely demolished my my listening. I listened to 32,000 minutes of music this year. My highest is 3,500. I'll give you one guess who my number 1 artist was.
Juice WRLD.
Mm-hmm. Not even a question.
Yeah.
It's like, I think my top 5 was Juice WRLD, Uzi.
I'm curious what mine's going to be for Spotify.
I thought Kendrick would be up there because I'm not gonna lie, I beat the shit out of Euphoria.
Yeah,
but it was Juice, Uzi, Skillet, Post Malone. I'm missing one more.
Post Malone.
Oh, Future.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what mine last year was all over the place because I was listening to so many different things. This year, I have no clue what's going to be most listened to. I have no clue.
Oh, bro, Juice WRLD has 3-peated for me. He's my number 1 for 3 straight years.
Yeah. I'm always listening to stuff, liking it, and then listening to, like, the top 20, like, songs I have. And then as I accumulate more likes, I just listen to the most recent, like, things that I've added on. So that's how I listen to music.
You know what I started to do?
What?
I started just going to my songs, like the songs I have downloaded, songs, and then just hitting shuffle.
Yeah, I hit shuffle a lot.
I'll just like hit it like 8 times, and then just be like, whatever it lands on, I'm listening to.
People recently have said that Spotify's had a problem with shuffling. I know you don't use Spotify, but
Apple Music sucks.
Yeah, but Spotify's better in my opinion. I've used both. I like Spotify more because of the customization. The radio I think is a little bit better. But people said they've had problems shuffling their like songs. I haven't. And the problem that people said they've had is like that the same songs would be played all the time, no matter if you had 1,000 to 20.
Clear your cache.
Oh, that's probably a good idea.
No, I'm being serious. I found that I've seen that, and that's what that's a solution. You got to clear your cache.
Yeah, I haven't had that problem though.
Because I would love to do that with my phone. Because I feel like at the gym I'm listening to the same 10 songs intertwined every time.
But like I said, I haven't had that problem. So I don't know why people are saying that. And I have 10,000 songs liked because I've been using Spotify since early high school. So I don't know what people are talking about.
I couldn't believe I had 32,000. So like, oh my God. I think I listened to like 2,000 new songs.
That's
over 500 artists listened
to,
and I'm just like,
it's pretty cool. Music's kind of been at a standpoint recently, so I think we've talked about this.
No, we ate pretty well over these last month.
Yeah, that's true. There's been some good new music.
Kendrick.
It's been a while.
Juice.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah, I've been like I say, I always look for new stuff though. I always do. I think that's just part of growing up as well.
I love Juice World.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hate seeing these posts online that are like, me excited to hear the party never ends.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like Cillian Murphy and Peaky Blinders
Yeah.
sitting there smoking a cigarette, going, me also realizing that this is the last time I'm ever going to get Juice World music, and I'm like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I like the album.
I love that you can vote on what songs are next. And Rental is the first song. I remember being on this podcast and looking at the camera and saying, please, Rental, please. Also Uzi. I'm still waiting on Scarecrow. But yeah, man, I really like the album. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's no. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna find something to complain about, just shut up. Just be quiet. Enjoy what you're getting, because, man.
And unlike Uzi, Juice WRLD really sticks to, like, I know he's passed away, but his music was very consistent with his style, and he had a great style. He didn't really switch things up a lot, and I like that.
Bro, and the fact that you can still play his music 5 years after his death, and it's still relevant. Mm-hmm. Like, the thing I like about him so much is that a lot of artists want to do, stay in their niche. They want to do the 808s and the beats and everything that kind of sounds. Little Baby is the first one that pops into mind.
Yeah, really simple stuff.
Where it's like, you don't change the flow. You don't do anything that's a little bit too far right. No. What I like about Juice was that it wasn't just a one-way trip. It was like, oh, okay, he's going to do emo rap. Okay, he's going to do a rock song. Okay, he's going to do a dance song. Okay, he's going to, like, I hate when people say to me, he only makes sad music. I'm like, Armed and Dangerous, On God, Bee's Knees, Black and White. Do I need to go on?
And most people...
Oh, I've never heard those songs. Interesting.
Only make sad music. I hate that argument though, because most artists make music about their life, what they're going through, and that's how people relate to them.
Precisely.
I mean, you're not listening to one guy, like, you're not listening to one dude who makes sad music if you're not somehow connected with that.
Exactly.
People who aren't connected with it have no, like, they shouldn't be complaining about it because they're not listening to that stuff. So why let other people think that, oh, you're listening to sad music? That's bullshit. It's like, no. Plus, like they relate to it. Like, that's just how music is.
Plus, another thing that gets me is just the people that are like, oh, he only makes sad music. I'm like, you do know that, like, every artist at one point makes a song, whether it's about a breakup,
it's
or
personal,
about a girl, or about anything.
It's personal.
Like, they're like, oh, give me an example. I'm like, Wet Dreams. What's that song about? J. Cole getting laid for the first time. That's about a girl. It's not sad.
That's what art is, though.
Yeah,
Art's
it's also
just
like the ability to just close your hands on a type of feeling and be able to relate that feeling to your fans.
Yeah.
That's what makes him popular.
Yeah.
The fact that you and I could be going through whatever the hell and have whatever type of background and blah, blah, blah. But if we both get our hearts broken by the girl that we quote unquote love, Juice is there to simply be able to put into words how you're feeling. How can you relate to it? Oh, like my favorite song by Juice ever is Righteous.
Okay.
And everyone's like, oh, it's a sad song. I'm like, yes, it is. But like, I love the beat. I love the flow. I love everything about it from 1 second to 4 minutes into the song. And I'm like, it encapsulates a feeling.
That's what music is, man.
Exactly.
That's what music is. People who listen to just, 808s all day, probably not listening to much that really relates to them. That's why lyrics are so valuable too. I mean, we've talked about this. I think the music aspect is really important, but I think as time has gone on, I've started to appreciate more lyrically driven songs, and I appreciate it a lot now.
One more thing. I understand that EA 2 is not the greatest Uzi project, and I acknowledge that. But all these people that are saying, I always knew Cardi was better than Uzi, dude, don't even go there. Playboy Cardi drops a beat, and all of his fans glaze the shit out of him that he's dropping new music.
Yeah.
Uzi actually works on music and gives his fan what he wants. Although EA2 was not particularly what people wanted, you can't sit here and tell me that since 2017, Playboi Carti has put out better music than Uzi. You can't.
No.
So all the people that are sitting there saying whatever the hell and whatever the fuck else, they need to relax. Because listen, you're waiting for a guy who literally spends more time posting fit pictures on Instagram than he making music. He's not interested in making music, bro.
Well, I don't listen to him.
I don't either.
So,
but I'm tired of all these people talking. I'm like, bro, to me, Playboi Carti has one good song.
Yeah.
One. It's not Magnolia. It's the other song with Uzi, Shooter.
I probably heard it.
You definitely have.
I just don't know the song name.
You definitely have.
Yeah.
Like one of those things where, like, if I were to play you the first 5 seconds, be like, yeah, I know this song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest because I saw it on and people talking about it. I'm just like, dude, he drops fit pics. Like if he dropped a song for every 10 fit pics, he'd be giving you new music every 2 weeks. But he doesn't want to do that because he's not interested.
Yeah.
But yeah. Switching topics again off of music. Well, we went from food to music to then.
What's up?
Here.
What are you thinking?
We're gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit here and talk to you about football again.
That's fine.
No,
what's on your mind?
Let's just make it quick.
Let's hear it.
Dude, the college football playoff.
It's gonna be insane.
It's gonna be nice, but also, I just want there to be good games, man. I don't want it to be another thing. Like, you remember when Florida State played whoever the hell and they won 63-3?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't want that. I want good games.
There'll be upsets this year.
I want games that people are going to remember. I also have a problem with the NBA, but let's save that for a different pod.
In my opinion, Oregon is the only team that I think is dominant this year. Otherwise, I think it's pretty open.
But I also think they can be upset.
Sure, of course. Any team this year, I think, can.
Bro, Ohio State just lost to Michigan, and Michigan does not throw the ball.
Michigan's really bad this year.
Michigan beat Ohio State, bro.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
People were going crazy about that. I think they're overreacting a little bit to it.
It's also Ohio State. They have like a $20 million payroll.
I think
and they lose to Michigan.
I think they missed out on the Big Ten championship because of that loss.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that's why Penn State's
was
playing Oregon.
Yeah, I don't know if Penn State's had such a great year. It's hard to believe that Penn State wasn't going to make the Big Ten championship.
But Ohio State beat.
Oh, they beat. Yeah.
Did they beat?
I think so. That might be their only loss.
I think they did beat.
I can't remember, and I love Penn State. I can't even remember. I think that was their only loss. If I might be right.
I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to a lot of it. Hopefully, going to win some money. Hopefully, I can repeat the success I had last week with betting and.
Yeah. No, I'm hyped for football. I think this is the best football year in a long time, in my opinion. I like everything about it.
And then the playoff starts. Going to be eating good.
Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. I can't wait. But
then we're going to have to listen to whoever the hell is talking about the Heisman. Personally.
Oh, yeah. What's your take on this?
Personally.
It's crazy, this take.
I mean, either one is going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, you can make a case for either one of them. But I lean more towards Travis Hunter just because the guy does play two positions, and he's probably top 5 at each.
I'm also leaning Travis Hunter.
But you can't deny the fact that what Ashton Genty is doing is not historic.
The take that I heard is that Ashton Genty is there's been other running backs in recent memory that have dominated like Ashton Genty. The case that Ashton Genty has, where I think, okay, it makes sense he could be a Heisman, is that they're in the playoff, dude. Boise State's in the playoff. Like, who else? Who's their QB? I don't know. You know what I mean? That team's run by a running back, and that's impressive on its own. But I also think Travis Hunter should be the Heisman winner because he's a two-side player. I think he is in top 5 for all the receiving stuff, with touchdowns and receptions and
I don't think Shador should be in the conversation.
No, but I think Shador should be top 5.
Like he should be sitting in the front row with all the other Heisman finalists, 100%.
And this is another thing too. People are shitting on Colorado because they aren't going to make the playoff. They've had an insane year. Like, they've had a great year. And what Dion's done with that team, man, in 2 years.
That are going to go top 5. He got 2 players that are going to go top 5.
And Dion just got a 5-star recruit for QB. He just to say that Dion, well, in my opinion, Dion deserves a ton of credit.
I agree.
And people are just constantly just shitting on this dude for no reason because he's a big name. Like, come on.
How do you think, why do you think these kids want to come to fucking Colorado?
We're talking
because
about
of Dion.
Top 5 football player of all time is coaching there. How would you not want to go there?
And he's a player's coach.
Yeah.
You see the thing that that came out. I think it was last week, where it was like one of his players that he's had from like Jackson State. The guy's father is in prison, and Dion took him under his wing, trained him, coached him, blah blah blah, and he literally asked Dion, "Hey, would you want to come visit my father with me?" He goes, "Of course. Let me know the date and time." Okay, here it is. Okay, I got a meeting there, but I'll be there. Don't worry.
That's how you recruit, man.
And I'm like, it's just you gotta. I can't. And also another thing with these reporters that ask him questions that are like, "Oh, who do you think would win in their prime? You or Travis?" And he's like, "It's not about me and Travis, man. I had my time. It's his time."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's Mike Tomlin. That's a good coach.
Yeah, he's a great
He's not going to
coach.
sit here and just be like, "Oh, well, I think it'd be a pretty..." No. He's going to be like, don't bring me into this.
Another thing, too, I want to mention is that he should never coach in the NFL. And I'm not saying that he he can't be an NFL coach, but he's a massive recruiter. That's his thing.
I also think that what he does the best is best suited for college.
Yeah.
Something where he could be the fun coach and, do whatever and blah, blah, blah. And has got the personality, the charisma, all that. When you go to the NFL, there's a lot more expectation. Like, I see people saying online, they're like, "Oh, well, Dallas Cowboys are going to..." I'm using Dallas as an example. Dallas Cowboys are going to get a Shador and then get Dion. No. Dion will not leave Colorado. Because why would you trade... It's the same thing I said about Chip Kelly. I don't know if you and I would talk college football back then, but
yeah.
I could never understand why all of these college coaches leave to the NFL when they are literally viewed as God.
And half the time they go back.
Like Saban.
Yeah.
Saban. Who else?
The guy Nebraska who was coaching the Panthers.
Oh, Matt Rule. He's a fucking terrible coach. He's
good for college.
No, he's still a terrible coach.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think he's a good college coach.
Him starting Dylan Raiola as a stupid... I fucking hate Dylan Raiola.
I just don't like how fake he is.
There's a bunch of things I can get into. The fact that this guy has lost me money. He's fastly becoming the next Russell Wilson. When Russell Wilson retires, I'll have another person to hate. Because, like, bro,
oh my God.
I don't understand how... I've watched this guy play like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, can you just be you? Don't be Patrick Mahomes. We already got one of them. Just be Dylan, not Patrick.
There's definitely people around this corner telling him that.
God.
There has to be. Because that's going to be old after.
Like, bro, there's times where I'm like, okay, he's making a Mahomes-esque throw. He's fucking overthrowing the guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, just set your feet and throw the ball.
Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Nebraska games.
If it's 3rd and 5, don't throw off of your back foot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to the players coming out too this year for the NFL draft. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm a Giants fan, but I think it is a good. I think it is a good draft though. In all,
I think so. There's a lot of good running backs, receivers, O-linemen.
Yeah,
it's not a quarterback-rich draft, but it's a very
people
much
are saying it's not
position.
See, people are saying that, but this isn't the Kenny Pickett draft, bro. Where, you know what I mean? There's 2 guys up top that will be good in the NFL. Yeah,
but there's 2 guys.
Everyone else
and then nobody else. Everyone else is a
fine.
project.
But who cares? People are just saying that because of last year when there were 6 quarterbacks coming out and they're all starters.
Of course.
That never happens.
Dude,
look at the years previous, man. There's always been 1 or 2 quarterbacks that have dominated, and no one else wants to talk about that. Last year was an exception. Let's move on. All right?
Dude, I would love for I know this is like long-term planning, but if we can get Jalen Milroe, if we can just draft... I don't think we're going to draft Jalen Milroe. I don't really think
he's not that great.
Depends on what we do with Justin Fields, but if we draft Jalen Milroe and have him sit behind Russell and in our system for 2-3 years, I think we can work out a lot of his kinks.
I'm going to be honest. I'll be shocked if the Steelers draft a quarterback.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get another fucking linebacker for something.
That's good. Get him. Get old lineman too.
Bro, we already.
You guys, your Super Bowl window is this year and next year. That's it, bro.
I don't think so.
Yes, it is. What do you mean you don't think so?
Bro, we're in the same conference as the Bills and the fucking referee. I mean, the Chiefs.
So when is your window then?
I don't think there's a window at the moment. I would want to see what this guy does in the playoffs because I think we got the defense for it. But other than that, the offense is just...
Russell Wilson has been playing great, man. He threw for the most yards I think in his career. The other week, so
I wouldn't know. I hate the guy with the burning passion.
I'm just saying, you got to be optimistic, man. You got to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
No one's retiring. Lamar ain't retiring in the next 5 years, bro. Josh Allen ain't retiring in the next 5 years. When's your window then?
You're gonna watch the Ravens just take a nosedive.
I mean, I'm shocked how bad they've been recently. Shocked. Like, man, Bengals fans gotta be pissed because they actually could have made a run if they weren't that terrible on defense.
Well, yeah, I mean, bro, I was talking to my dad, and he said to me, he was like, "Who do you think is in a worse situation when it comes to football, the Cowboys or the Bengals?"
Cowboys.
I went Cowboys just solely because of the fact that they have to pay. I'm sorry,
they overpaid.
I would say the Cowboys by a very skinny margin. Mm-hmm. But they're very, very close to each other because both of their franchises are being hindered by the fact that they have to pay. Bro,
we'll see who they get as coaches because I still think Bengals are getting a new coach. We'll see who they both get as coaches. That'll change everything.
Either way, I mean, you got a lot of holes to fill in that roster. You need to.
But what wins championships? Yeah, you could say defense, but QBs win championships in today's day. I don't agree. I think QBs win championships.
Had the Chiefs win in the playoffs?
I mean, I agree.
With a dominant defense.
Yeah, I think it should be talked about, but if the Mahomes ain't QB there, bro, they ain't winning 2 in a row. They ain't doing it, man.
Well, I mean, I really want to make a great analogy here, but I don't.
Like, if Purdy was as good as... If Purdy was a top 5 QB, they would have won the game.
Oh, so now you're changing your opinion about Brock Purdy?
I never said he was top 5.
Okay.
I said he was top 10. I never said he was top 5. Top 5, you win Super Bowls with top 5 QBs. Like, period. There's going to be no more Nick Foles. No, that's never happening again. Knock on wood, because I don't want to see that happen again. I want to see superstars win Super Bowls. I want to see Josh Allen win a Super Bowl. I want to see Joe Burrow win a Super Bowl.
I'm trying to think. Matthew Stafford?
I mean, yeah, that was as complete of a team as you can get.
No, not really.
Yes, it was.
Not really. They had to add some pieces.
Tell me,
trade deadline.
Of course, they added pieces
because they needed help. If it's a perfect roster, you don't need to add pieces.
But they added pieces, making it a perfect roster. That's my point. When you add Von Miller, you add Matt Stafford, you have Cooper Kupp already. You have I don't know who was running back for them.
I'm saying at the trade deadline, they added Von Miller and
yeah, but that made them a complete team. That's my point. Bengals weren't a complete team even back then. They were a team riding on an insane, momentum push.
They still had a defense.
They did, but they were riding on a momentum push that started late in the season. They went on They won like 6 straight games or some bullshit like that.
I still can't believe they let Jesse Bates go. To this day, I cannot believe they let Jesse Bates go.
Who, the kicker?
The Bengals.
Wait, what are you talking about? Who?
The safety that's in Atlanta.
I'm thinking the kicker. I don't know why I thought kicker.
The safety that's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He used to be a Bengal.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they drafted him and they let him walk.
Yeah, right now,
I wholeheartedly believe they lose Trey Hendrickson this offseason as well. They're going to lose Trey Hendrickson and T. Higgins this offseason.
Okay. Right now, the Bills should win the Super Bowl. In my opinion, they should. I don't think we've seen a quarterback play or be as dominant as him since when Mahomes threw for like 50 touchdowns that one year. I think it was his sophomore year.
Yeah,
his second year.
That year was crazy.
Josh Allen's having that level of a year. I'm not saying stats wise, but just like you can't stop this dude.
I want the Super Bowl. I want the Super Bowl that America wants. Detroit and the Bills.
Who would you root for in that game though? That'd be tough because I love Josh Allen, but man,
I'd root for Josh Allen.
Bro, the Lions have that just a piece.
I'd root for Josh Allen.
Ah, man, I would love. I want
just because I just want him to get his.
Those are two teams that have been through the mud in recent memory, so that'd be an awesome Super Bowl. I think that would be the most watched Super Bowl in 21st century. I think people would be, if the Chiefs made another Super Bowl, people would be like, screw this.
Definitely of this decade.
Definitely this decade. I'm saying 21st century.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of heavy hitting contenders that were up there as well.
The other one I can think of,
the 16 when Cam Newton and Peyton Manning, 15-1, and then that.
Can I talk about that team real quick?
And then the following year with Falcons Patriots when they came back 28-3.
That Panthers team was one of the most insane teams I've ever seen.
Led by the defense. Luke Kuechly was on a different level.
I think
the guy was calling out plays just from looking at their formation.
That team was unreal. They should have won the Super Bowl. That team,
Cam didn't dive on the ball.
That was the most insane. Yeah, I know, but that was the most insane team to never win a Super Bowl, in my opinion. Like, I think there's
one that we can both think of that's a little bit better than that.
What, the Patriots?
Yeah.
Well, Giants, man. Yeah. They got that fucking heart.
That was. They got that heart. You see the interview that's going around right now where it's like Tom Brady talking about that, and he was just like, they're like, if you could change one play in your entire career, what would it be? He goes, can it be defense or offense?
Yeah.
He goes, they're like, either one. He goes, 2007, or what was it, 2007, right?
Mm-hmm.
2007, that third down when fucking Eli Manning threw the ball and he caught
Tyree.
it. And he goes, and the best part is nobody ever talks about this. That's a bad throw.
Yeah, he threw it.
He threw it into three defenders.
You know what?
He put it in the one spot where only his defender can make a play.
But guess who? But there's players nowadays that would make that same play. Josh Allen would make that same play. He'd throw that shit.
Oh, Josh Allen would take it himself. He'd be like, oh yeah.
Oh well, he would not be taken down, dude. Yeah. Another thing too that I thought was interesting. This is not Super Bowl related. So the Trevor Lawrence sliding thing.
Oh, without
bro, if that was Josh Allen, he would have trucked that motherfucker, bro. Like,
Josh
that's
Allen's
a fact.
Not sliding. If it's Josh,
he would have trucked that dude. So I just love Josh Allen, man. I love him.
Too.
He's such a good player. He's an awesome dude. It seems like, and that man needs to win a Super Bowl.
I agree.
He needs to win a Super Bowl.
I would love to hear him in Media Week. I actually paid attention.
Are the best QBs in our lifetime. All right, and so far, yeah. In my opinion, he's better than Peyton. I think he offers more than Peyton.
Whoa. Let's rewind a little bit.
Josh Allen, I'm saying is already better than Peyton
Manning?
Yeah, I think he's better than Peyton Manning.
Okay, well, this is what I'm going to tell you. Peyton Manning is so good that it didn't matter who you put on the field with him. He would make them significantly better. Now, does Josh Allen do that? Sort of.
Absolutely. He carries a team on his own, though.
Let me ask you a great question. Name a Peyton Manning running back.
I mean, okay, I can't think of one. But what's your point?
My point is, since it was Peyton Manning, it didn't matter.
I'm thinking in the future, though. Like, let's say Josh Allen is in the league for another 5 to 8 years. Bro, come on, dude. If he is at the level he is now for another 5 straight years,
he needs to collect jewelry then.
Dude, Mahomes, he will. I'm saying I think they win this year, but I'm just saying, how's Mahomes looking this year? Not too good, huh?
Take a step back.
He took a big step back this year.
He has not only a Super Bowl hangover, but you also got to realize it's hard to sustain that for so long. The Patriots had a point where they weren't even making AFC championship games for like 5 years. But that's my point. There.
Can we stop talking about Mahomes as the GOAT? Can we just stop now?
No, because everyone wants a talking point because of the fact that this guy has fucking 3
Brady's
Super Bowls
a GOAT.
already.
I mean, people argue like I don't have Peyton Manning as 2. I honestly don't know who my second best quarterback ever would be. But the thing about Peyton is like, I don't know. He needs, what was he in Super Bowl? 2-2 or something like that? Super Bowls? I don't know.
I think 2-1.
2-1?
No, 2-2.
Because he got blown out by the Seattle Seahawks. Blown out.
That defense was the best defense I have ever seen in my life.
GOATs don't, like, if you're a top 3 quarterback of all time, you're not going to blow out in the Super Bowl, bro. I'm sorry. It's just not happening, in my opinion.
It was the best defense I have ever seen in my life.
It's okay. I still am sticking with my word.
Better than that Panthers team's defense. It was literally, bro, How many defenses do they have a nickname for recently?
That's true.
None.
I'm just saying, though.
None.
No, I agree. Probably the best defense of our life. I still think your elite quarterback, Tom Brady would have kept that game close. I'm just saying. He would have. So.
Well, Tom Brady did keep it close considering the next year they were in the Super Bowl. And what happened? Took a fucking pick at the goal line to beat that team.
Yeah, true.
True. Fucking more. I'm kidding.
I mean, that was a hell of a Super Bowl. But I'm sticking with my Josh Allen. All right, I'm not saying Josh Allen's better than Peyton Manning now. I think by the end of his career, he will be considered better than Peyton Manning. I'll say that.
You know, Peyton Manning has records that will never be touched, even though they added another game, right?
So does Drew Brees, but no one's talking about him as the GOAT or in GOAT status.
That's because Drew Brees had some of the most unlucky things happen to him.
Yeah, I know.
Multiple times. That 2018 Saints team was real good, but one no call led to a lot of things, and
it's just, yeah. I just think when you look at Josh Allen, what he can do with his legs and with his arm, just make plays out of nothing. Like, come on, man. Like, we might talk about Lamar Jackson at like that level. I think Josh Allen's on another level when it comes to that stuff.
I don't know, man.
Dual threat wise, he's gonna be the best ever. Dual threat wise, Josh Allen's gonna be the best ever.
I don't know, man. I'm very hesitant because for me,
we have to put a dual threat quarterback in the GOAT status. Like people what?
For me, it's more of like.
I'm not saying Josh Allen's a GOAT too. I'm not.
No, I get that. For me, it's like. I look at the pieces around you while you're winning. Now, you remember what I said about Aaron Rodgers and why I like Matt LaFleur as a coach so much? It's because what was the first thing Matt LaFleur did? He drafted a running back and made it more of a run-heavy team. Aaron wins 2 more championships. What did the Bills start doing last year towards the tail end of the year when they went on that crazy 9-game winning streak? They ran the ball. I think Buffalo is more
Aaron didn't win 2 more championships.
I'm sorry, I meant MVPs.
MVP.
But what I'm saying is I think Josh Allen's having this great season, but I think it's more so of an effect of how well they're running the ball, which I'm not saying is like a knock on him. I'm not saying you got to throw the ball fucking 50 times to be successful and be the best in my eyes. In my opinion, I think he's the best quarterback in the league right now. Period.
Yeah. What other quarterback? So that game, the last game in the snow, what other quarterback is doing the stuff he did in those conditions? I can't think of one. Payton's not. That dude threw ducks. Like, I'm just saying, man. Nobody's.
Brady did.
In those conditions.
Mm-hmm. Look up the snow game with in 07 with Randy Moss. The guy was not. Okay. The guy was not handing off the ball.
Brady is the GOAT, though. That is true. So Brady is.
Brady is. Bro, it made me so mad when he won the 7th Super Bowl, and I remember like looking at somebody and being like, I can't argue it anymore. The guy's got fucking 7 championships. He's got more championships than fucking Jordan.
Dude, do yourself a favor. Go look at Tom Brady's stats. You'll be amazed. Like just season stats, like just listing it all, bro. It's a fucking that. You know how many seasons people don't realize he was in the NFL for like 25 years, bro.
20.
Whatever. I can't remember the specifics. But no one's doing that stuff for that long. Nobody. That's why he's a GOAT.
Also,
That's why he's a GOAT.
Tom wouldn't, want to get hit, so he would just be like, all right, I got to get the ball out quick.
Yeah, he's super smart. I love it. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
All right, I think we've spent enough time talking about a whole bunch of a kabobble of fuckery of topics.
It's all right.
So, it's been real. Been real. Stay beautiful, my people. Chow and Dimes podcast. You know what it is. I'm never saying that ever again, by the way. Yeah, like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Go give some random guy a high five. But yeah, see you later.